Yeah, it's connecting. Yeah. Yeah. So tenant as well as the document, right? Everybody can see that, right? Both.
Yes.
Okay. When I'm switching, you can see the document as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so what we'll do is, first step is the plan here is to create a US monthly schedule. Okay, monthly schedule, and whereby we'll be creating, because for a monthly in a year there are like 12 pay periods. Okay, and usually when we create a period schedule, there are two ways of doing it. One is we do it manually, and the second way is we can do it through EIBs. So we are right now doing manually, and we are providing the various values. So regular pay day is last day of the month. Okay. So if the last day falls on a Saturday or a Sunday, right? What should the system do? So Saturday, if it is Saturday, then let's assume that we'll do the pay by Friday. Okay. So I'll do -1. And if it is Sunday, then I'll do -2. Okay. Now the next step is we'll be setting the period start date, end date, and payment date. Payment date is nothing but the check date. So let us set some of them. So likewise, I'm just setting the dates. So you'll have to manually enter the dates. I want everybody to create 12 periods for 2019 using a create period schedule. Okay, with their uh, initial, like VK is my initial, so VK period schedule. So this is the first step you'll have to do. Sorry, I'm not good at typing that much. So usually EIBs we can use. So yeah, I'm just creating right now 2 for timing for the purpose, but it has to be 10 more. Okay. So if you see here, there are 12 period schedules which are created on the document on the screen. If you see, so likewise, you'll have to create these period schedules. So now what does this period schedule do actually? So you are actually defining 12 periods for the monthly payroll, whereby the employees will be paid on cycle, on cycle 12 times in an year. Okay. And every period has got a definite period begin date, start date, period end date, and the payment date. If you see, those are all plotted on the screen, and that is what you have to do on the create period schedule task in the tenant. So that will be the first step you do, and this you do for every for monthly, semi-monthly, for every pay frequency you can you have to do. But the thing is, like for our task, we'll be doing only for the monthly. Then the second step will be the run category. Okay, and first period schedule is okay. So period schedule defines when to pay, when exactly has to be the employee has to be paid, whether it has to be bi-weekly or monthly or whatever. Then the second part is the run category. When we talk about the run category, there are like a lot of setups in run category. In run category, what we define is like basically which are the employees or the employee population which is supposed to be paid in this particular pay run. So let us just open the run category also. A couple of things here. One is run category controls the employees which are supposed to be paid in a particular payroll run. Second is what kind of run category is that? Is it a regular run category, or it's a bonus run category, or is it a commission run category? So like you basically define, right, whether this particular run category can be used for on cycle, or it can be used for off cycle, or is it for a commission? So usually regular salary or the base pay is paid every on cycle, and like the recurring earnings also will be the on cycle, right? But bonuses will be like sometime, for example, retention bonus is there. Okay, so that will be processed off cycle. It will not. It may or may not be in with the regular pay. Commissions again will be off cycle. So this also will be determined by the run category. Then third is the pay components. So for example, let's say for the regular employee or an active employee in the system, you will be paying all the earning components. But let's say an employee is on a leave of absence, or an employee is on termination, right, terminated. So what all pay components you will be processing? When we say pay components, it's nothing but the earnings or deductions for that employee. For example, termination, in case of termination, you will also process the severance, right? So let us again see this on the system. So this will be your task 2. Run category creation will be task 2. But right now we are going to the tenant and we are seeing the existing run category. Okay.
Vaibhav, sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
Did you show any Word document now? Actually, we are not able to see Word document. We are able to see Notepad, some Notepad. You explained something in Word.
No,
Word.
no. Okay. Hang on. So that's the reason I confirmed from you guys whether you are able to see both the documents or not. Yeah.
Yeah, earlier we were able to see.
Right now you're not able to see the Word document?
No.
Okay. Let me just share that once again. So our approach is very straightforward. So I have made it very simple, the concepts, and put it in the Word document. Okay. So these concepts will be completing the day. Parallelly, we'll be seeing that in a tenant. What exactly are those concepts? How they are interrelated? And the third step will be, of course, we'll have to do those activities, because in payroll, unless we do those activities, it will not work. As I said right in my first session also, for payroll, we have to do the step 1 in order to understand the step 7. So those are like all linked up. So our objective finally out of this course would be to have this framework ready. And tomorrow I'll be taking the earnings session also. So we'll also see the types of earnings, how we set it up, then we do the deduction setups also, and we interrelate all those things. And the whole idea is to run our own payroll. So that is the first milestone or first objective which we'll achieve. Okay. Then once we have run our own payroll, After that, we'll see the variations and various scenarios, what we can include. And that will actually bring you the thorough understanding of how payroll is. But payroll is all practical. We cannot just look at the screen and it will not be theory like that. Okay. So now you can see the document.
Yes, Vaibhav. Now we can see
Yes.
Word document.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So what I was saying is when it comes to run category, right? So if you see the box, type of payroll, regular, bonus, adjustment, define eligibility criteria, allow for specific granular eligibility. So run category, if you see here, first thing what it does is in a regular run, for example, let's say you have to process on-cycle payroll every monthly for the same monthly pay group. Okay. So what all employees in that particular pay group should be processed in a particular payroll run. So what all employees, let's say for example, there are 17 employees or 20 employees in a particular pay group, monthly pay group. Now you see out of those 17 employees as of now, there are 3 employees who got terminated, 2 employees who are on leave of absence, and rest are active. Okay. So 3 to 5. So means like 12 people, 12 employees are active for whom all the payroll component need to be processed, but there are 2 on LOA, 3 are on termination. Okay, they're terminated. So when you run the payroll, what exactly happens? What pay component need to be processed for these employees? So first thing is which employee population from the pay group to be processed for the payroll run. So that is the first step, which is the run category is covering. Second is what pay to process. As I was explaining, right? So regular salary is processed in the on cycle, ad hoc like bonus. Usually you have a off cycle, so you will have a run category called regular. Maybe you can also create one more run category like bonus, another one like commission. So what pay to process in particular in this particular run category. So when you have to process the bonus, then you will only pick up the bonus run category in that case. I'll show you. It will be more clear when you come onto the system. What pay comp, and let me know if you are not able to see the Word document. Right now I'm on the Word document, and then I'll again go to the tenant and I'll show it to you. Third one is what pay components to be processed. As I told you, right, in the scenario whereby there are 3 terminated employees out of the 17 employees in the pay group. So what we have to do with these 3 terminated employees? We cannot pay all the components, salary components, right? We have to pay only some components. So what we'll pay? So let's say we are paying severance. Okay. So we have to specifically mention that, okay, for terminated employees, we have to pay severance. So let us see on the screen now. Okay. So I'm opening the tenant. Is everybody able to see the tenant on my screen?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, let me share it then. Now?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a very important setup when it comes to the payroll framework run category. Okay, so we should know like most of the fields and what exactly are the relevance of those fields here. Our objective right now is to review this run category, and later on during the day as a homework you will do one, you will create your own run category as well. Okay, so that will be your second step. So because later on I want whatever components you're creating, those to be interlinked and interrelated, and once that is done, we will be able to proceed with the next part of the setup. So here we see, typically if you see, it's a regular run category, and here we can select the country also. As we know that Workday Payroll is only, the delivered one is only for US, UK, France and Canada. So I can select any one of the run category country. And so if it is US, of course, we can select that. Second page is the workers to process. Now, okay, this is very important page, the general tab. Okay, so there are 3 tabs here: general, non-active, off cycle. Okay, off cycle on demand. Okay, so if I take you through this one, so workers to process. So in this, they have mentioned what are the kind of workers who will be processed when this payroll run, this run category is being used. Okay, so I'll show you exactly how these 3 are combined, but right now we'll focus on this one. So this run category typically will select employees or workers who are on status active, on leave, terminated with one-time compensation payment, terminated with one-time payroll input, terminated with pay through date, terminated with retroactive events. Okay, so these are the different statuses in which employees can be at any point of time. Okay, so an employee is terminated, for example, the 4th one, let's say employee is terminated, but he has a one-time payroll input. Yesterday, remember I had showed the one-time payroll input, how we have to enter. We entered the basic project pay for one of the employees.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
I remember.
Okay. Oh, great. Okay. So so if an employee is terminated and then he has got a one-time payroll input, right? So that is another status of the worker. Okay. So likewise, these are the statuses. Then on the second page, we have the components to calculate. Okay. So what is this pay component? Let's see here. Okay. See at the top, long-term disability pay. It's an earning, right? As I mentioned, right, pay components is a terminology used in pay component and component groups is a terminology used in Workday, but actually it is more to do with earnings and deductions and pay component related calculations. So there are 3 things. Pay component related calculation I'll take later on, but right now, since you understand what is earning and what is deduction, I was because everybody gets a paycheck. So you assume this way that pay components are it's an umbrella to hold an earning or a deduction or a group of earnings or a group of deduction. Okay. So this is a pay component to calculate, and for whom we should calculate. If you see on leave, so employees who are on leave, like if we just relate it to the first page, on leave employees, for them with leave types, Canada long-term disability and US long-term disability, we have to give the long-term disability pay. So this means, let's say if our employee, in any of the employee out of our pay group is on a long-term disability leave, we have to process additional long-term disability pay for him. Correct? So how do we do that? So this is the place where we'll set it up. Okay, this page is clear. The first entry is clear, right? So second one is severance. Okay, so these are like salary based pay, severance ongoing. So again, these are components which are to be paid for the terminated employee. Again, if you see the top one heading here, status. Okay, and this also has a criteria also. Okay, criteria also will do that once we come to that particular point. Selection criteria are there, so we'll come to that point. So these are the pay components we are paying for the employee who are with the status of terminated in my pay group. Again, we have these components like floating holiday paid, salary based pay, sick pay, vacation paid. These also associated with the only ones. The next one is short-term disability pay. So any employee within my pay group, if he is on a short-term disability leave, he is supposed to be paid the short-term disability pay. And how the system will identify? First is the worker status is on leave and the person has gone on this Canada or US short-term disability. I'm just bringing the mouse cursor also on that. Okay. So this is the second page. And it's related to the first page. So first page only had the statuses to be selected, what all workers in which all status needs to be processed. Second page is your pay components to be processed specifically for certain statuses. Okay. And third one, again,
Vaibhav,
yes.
sorry to interrupt. One question. So when you say the pay component to calculate in the leave types, the leave you have two options there, right? One is for Canada and one is for US.
Yeah.
So that's an OR operation there, right? Like my employee can belong to US if say suppose the employees are only in US.
Yes.
So it would be an OR operation there, right?
Yes, yes, it will be our operation only.
Yeah. Okay. And
Because
do we have
that's
any?
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so because I was thinking if we have employees only in US, then we would just do the US one. But then
No.
maybe
This is,
in
yeah, this is
future if we
actually
expand our business to Canada, so in that case maybe our employees can work in Canada. In that case, then you would add that. So I was thinking it's only or, right? So
yeah, or it's or only, correct. Right.
and do we do any kind of custom leave types? Say suppose if they introduce anything else, like
Sorry,
do we do
I
that
lost
as
you in
well
between.
here?
Sorry, I lost you in between. Come again, please.
Okay, so do you do any kind of custom leave types or maybe pay components to calculate? Like if you are adding anything new, like say suppose the company heads come in and they say that, hey, we have to give some more allowance for something else, maybe for some kind of some grade where, you know, you can give for a particular grades pay grades
Right.
for maybe from G1 to G5, we can give them cellular support, and
Right.
from G5 to G10, they are executives, they don't need cellular because they're already earning heavily. So do we do anything custom for them when such kind of business approach comes in?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
do we have that, or
Yes.
it's just the work they delivered we need to use?
No. Yeah. We can have conditions also. Like for example, there are some earnings you have to give to the higher management, or maybe grade 1 to 5. You need to give certain earnings, right? So in the earnings, you can just set it up the worker eligibility. So earning level, we can set it up. So yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, basically when we are defining the earning, you will have the worker eligibility, who all are the worker eligible. So these people, like you can put the conditions based on grade or based on positions or job title. You can have the conditions, right? In fact, some of the conditions I'll show you in the pay group also today a little bit. So you can create these custom rules across Workday. So that is the beauty of the product. Where you can, it's not restricted to one element or something. You can put rules and conditions, and we will see once we do the earning definition.
Okay.
We'll see that.
So
Right
one
also
more thing which
yeah.
I was kind of confused here is when you say we have to create our new run category, or maybe in real time when we create our new run category, when you go to the general tab, can you go to the general tab?
Sure.
So usually it would be empty, right?
Yes.
The
So
status would be empty, right?
Yes. Status will be empty. So that's the activity. Let's
Okay. So
yeah,
my question is like, depending upon the business requirement, you go and fill up those status, right? Or by default, you select all of them which are there.
No. Yeah, it is dependent on the business requirement only, and it is not something like you set up very frequently. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Because it's a payroll framework, so it's a high-level framework. And when you initially start gathering the requirement, taking the requirement from the business or like the customer, right? At that time you will determine how many run categories we need. Okay, how many pay groups we need, how many pay periods
You
we need.
mean wipe
So
out
all these
in the
things are
discovery
determined.
phase, right?
Sorry.
During the discovery phase, you will
Yes.
decide all these things.
Yes. But yes, you will decide on the discovery during the discovery phase. All the activities like whatever are to be set up, those configurations you will have to apply. And it's, you can say, it's not a very frequent activity. It is a one-time activity, and then during the maintenance, or let's say any acquisition happens later. Let's say at that time any new pay group comes into system, right, due to acquisition. That time you may again have to do some setups like this, but these are only one-time setups.
Okay.
So,
Just to get back and connect the dot, just to in my head. So for every pay frequency, do we create a run category?
no, it's not like that.
No.
Yeah, I'll just come to that. What happens is you have a pay group, okay? You determine,
Okay.
like, let's say it is a monthly pay group or bi-weekly pay group or whatever, based on the pay frequency. And in that pay group, you will associate this period, the period schedule which you created, the run category which you created, okay, and pay group assignment rule. So I'll come to the pay group part also, right? I think that is also activity which has to be completed, because once we go through the entire set of activities, right? So you'll get a very clear picture of what has to be set up. So this pay group will hold the run category. And even if it is bi-weekly or weekly or monthly, you can use a regular run category. You can create one run category and you can use it across the pay groups. So pay group will have that configuration to link it to the run category. I'll show you that.
Okay, so multiple pay groups can use a single run category?
Yes, it can use.
Oh, so it's one to many.
Yeah, it can use. But one thing is there, again, it depends on the requirement also, right? So for example, if you have certain condition that a particular earning has to be provided only to a weekly, like a person who is working weekly, okay? So we have to determine that whether we can like pay him in the regular payroll, or can we, should we create another like the category and associate with the payroll, right? So yes, but to answer your question, the way we can design it as, like, for example, in your company, you have 10 people who are in bi-weekly payroll, 10 in weekly and 10 in monthly, okay? So what you can do, and let's say in the weekly there are 2 more additional earnings which are there, which are to be processed, okay? Now you can definitely use a one regular run category for all 3, and the additions you can do. You can have additional earnings for the weekly ones, or maybe some for the bi-weekly ones, so that you can do. This will keep on discovering how it will happen. We can do it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So let me just show you once again.
And Vaibhav, the statuses you showed just now, right?
Yeah.
Those are Workday delivered, or can we configure those statuses also according to the business requirements?
Yeah, statuses actually that's on the HCM side. So if you see, yeah, you have already seen, right, on the HCM, you when a person goes on leave, so employee's profile will show on leave, right? So it is picking up from there only. So all status, those are not from payroll, those are from HCM side. Additional statuses we can modify, but yeah, so those are the Workday delivered statuses we have.
Okay, and in the next tab, you just mentioned a couple of for a couple of statuses, the plan, whatever, like you mentioned, right? Like you added. So it is based on our requirement. It's not mandatory that to include all the statuses in the second tab.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. We don't have any mandatory rule that all the statuses on the first tab. For that, we need to have earnings associated on the second tab. It's only, as I told you, right, for termination, right? Definitely for the termination, you have a severance pay. So for active employee, you don't have a severance pay. So and in the second tab, you are specifically mentioning that if the employee status is terminated, then severance pay need to be processed. If an employee is on long-term disability, then the long-term disability pay has to be processed. But that is not the case with the active employees. In the first tab, active employees are also there, right? Yeah.
Right. So for active employees, what kind of pay earning will be processed? It's not mentioned there, right? But generally.
No, it's there. It's there. I'll just show you.
Oh, okay. I'll wait.
Yeah. No worries. No worries. Let me. Okay. So just to mention, somebody asked the question, right? How the page looks like. I'll come to your question. This is Asha, right? I just spoke to Asha, right?
No,
Who was
Sirisha.
Sirisha.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm Asha. Yeah, I asked that question before. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a page, the create run category page. Okay, so the new page looks like this, and you have to today this is the second activity you will have to do. You will have to create this run category like VK and regular like that, or maybe your name. You have to put that, and you have to configure this. Now, if you see here, this is a blank page where you'll have to configure. I don't want right now to make it very complex because our whole objective right now is to keep it very simple and process a payroll first. Then we'll later on we'll keep on adding a lot of scenarios and kind of complex scenarios. But first thing is I want you to today create this run category in the system, okay, and do make a note of all the configuration you do, because towards the end of the week, tenant gets refreshed, and we want all these configurations back on the next session next week, right? So here you have to just select the workers to process. We will only select the active right now. So workers with the status active will select here, okay. Then here you have to select gross pay accumulation, net pay accumulation. So basically what it means is, I'll explain you since we have not completed accumulator, but I'll just tell you in brief. Basically, we have accumulators like gross and net, okay? And within this, there are earnings or deductions, okay? So just select gross and net. So this will mean basically what all it actually, if you open this configuration, which will open later on once we are doing the earnings part also. So it will tell you what all are the set of earnings or deductions to be processed for this particular run category. Okay. And if any additional pay components also there, we can select it here. Okay. So like this, you just set it up. I want first of all that you should create one configuration, okay, and then here right now no need to put anything, because since we have not selected any terminated employee or person on a LOP or anything, do not put anything here, okay. We will add scenarios later on. First thing is to create a run category here, okay. Yeah, and coming to and there was one more question, right, on the run category. What was that? So
like how do you like how do you connect the how do you connect the run category to the pay group, like like you have a bunch of employees.
Yeah, so I'll just show you here, okay. I'm just coming to that. I mean, because pay group also I have to cover today only, otherwise we cannot we have to, let's say, create pay group. If you scroll down, you'll see here you have run category, period schedule, pay run group. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I got it. Yeah.
Yes. I hope now everybody should get it right. So these steps you'll do, and eventually what you'll do is in this umbrella you will club everything, so that the framework is ready.
Okay.
And once the framework is ready, then only you will go to the earnings, deductions, garnishments. So every setup we have to do in the system, and then we'll keep on associating it to the point where we start processing the payroll. So that is the first milestone, as I said, right, to process our own payroll with the help of our own framework, our own setups. So that is the first milestone.
Okay.
And somebody is asking me yesterday, right, so how will manage in the interviews and all. So I think once you work more on the system, right, you get a lot of confidence, you create some scenarios, you'll definitely have more understanding and more confidence to face the interviews as well.
Okay.
Right. So Can we go back? Yeah, I mean, so here we'll have all the three: run category, parent schedules, and parent group. Parent group also is something like you club a lot of pay groups together. So I'll provide that definition also. Like for example, you have 10 weekly payrolls in your company. Okay. Now you will not run payroll for every weekly pay group every time, right? You will not do 10 runs. So you'll have to do a single run, and that's for the convenience. You'll do a single run, and for in one run, all the 10 pay groups will be processed. So that's the way. That's the reason we have pay run group also here, right? So I'll show you that also. Okay, so coming back to where I left. So this is task number 2 for everybody. Okay. Okay. So the third one is pay group. I'm just sharing my screen Word document. If anybody is not able to see, please call it out.
Oh, we can see it.
Word document?
No, at least I'm not able to see it.
No.
No.
Okay. Now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So no worries. No worries. Okay. So this is the third part, right, where we have the pay groups. Now, pay group is set up to group employees with similar, this definition we already had yesterday, right? Now, what exactly are the important concepts? So, typically, we all know, right? I already explained to you, right, what exactly the pay group means and how we have the kind of employees or members added to the pay group. But there are some concepts in the pay group which we'll immediately see on the screen as well. Okay. So first concept is your override first processing period. Typically, if you read through, so this field is used for payroll go live. For example, for a monthly payroll, the go live happens in the month of September. This field holds a value of October 19. It determines which is the first payroll to be run. I hope this is very simple and self-explanatory, right? So go live will never happen like on an end of December or when the whole period is over. So it will be somewhere in the mid of any year. So how do we determine that which is that first payroll to run? So this is a field which will help you. Once you configure this, it will help you determine that. Second is the payroll assignment rule. Okay, so in real time, what will happen? When you hire an employee, okay, or do a job change, for everything, if we have to manually assign the pay group, it becomes a very cumbersome process. Okay, so we set up certain payroll assignment, pay group assignment rules. Okay, and based on this assignment rules, for example, a person, let's say if you see the screenshot, okay, if let's say an employee worker's job profile, a worker who is being hired is facilities receptionist or travel coordinator, okay, then assign that person a particular pay group, I mean, to which this assignment rule is associated. I'll come to that. So assignment rule is basically to directly associate, automatically associate a particular pay group or assign a particular pay group to an employee who is undergoing any of the staffing events. And what are staffing events if we see? So typically it will be the job change. Just read this one. I mean, you'll get the gist of it. Position change, international assignment, hiring. Okay. So this rule also we set it up when we do the pay group setup. Then we have the pay run group. Pay run group is something like, as I told you, right? We club together all the pay groups. So, and I've given you the example on the weekly payroll, how the 10 weekly payroll pay groups need to be run. So what we do is 10 weekly pay groups we associate and club under the one pay run group and run the pay run group while doing the payroll processing. Then the pay election, this also is an important setup whereby you actually set it up like what is like the how basically will be paying that to the workers. So is it check or direct deposit? So this is a very important setup from the run category perspective also, because run category should be maintained under the payment election rule. So when we say pay election, it is something like, as an example, you have 3 accounts. Okay, in one account you want the regular pay to go, and in the second account you want the bonus to be credited, and third account maybe some other commissions to be created. So something like that. If you want to set it up, an employee in any system, and even Workday, we have access to in the self-service to set up, like employee will have the access to opt for the pay election. Okay, he can select what payment type he requires, and from the setup perspective, this pay election has to be associated with the run category. Okay, and that happens under the maintain payment election rule. So let's go to now, first of all, so these 3 concepts are there, and I'm again going to the tenant and showing you what exactly we have with respect to pay group. So
Vaibhav,
yes,
sorry to interrupt. Before you go to the tenant, this is Asha here. Before
yes.
you go to the tenant, I am stuck at one sentence here. Under the pay group, you said pay group is set up to group employees with similar pay characteristics or pay frequencies. That I got it. So then you gave an example saying that employees paid weekly in a particular company or region. So my question is, when you say particular, like paid, for example, you said there are like 50 employees which are paid weekly, but they could have different designations, say suppose different grade levels, and they're all in different regions, but then they're all together. That's what you mean? Or they all the single grade level, like you have 50 employees, 10 employees are in grade 1 level, and they are in, say suppose in US region. So will they be grouped like that, or 50 employees with different grade levels and different regions, but they're all weekly, they will be grade together, or they'll be grouped together? Like how are they grouped? When you say with that statement, that example, I got confused. Like I just wanted to know how they are grouped. You got my question, or?
Yeah, I'm just yeah, I think I got the question. So okay, you're saying like if we have 50 employees who are to be paid weekly, right? And those employees have different job grades, right? And does these job grades determine their different kind of earnings as well?
And different regions.
Okay,
and they're in different regions. One is in 10 people are in US, some are in UK, some are in France, and the other one I don't remember.
No, we'll not. Yeah, I got your question now. No, so
yeah. How do you do a pay group? Like when you say weekly in a particular company, that is like any weekly employee with any grade level in any region. That's what I understood, but just wanted to know, is that understanding is right, or do we even put more?
Yeah, so maybe the clarification was required here. Okay, so
okay, yeah,
that's a good question. So region will never be like, okay, we have weekly employees in US and weekly employees in Canada, weekly employees in France, clubbed together. That can never happen, because if you see, the taxation system is altogether different. So we cannot we cannot club them together, right? So when we say let's say, so maybe I'll just when we say region, I was saying region within US. You can say it like that. Okay, so within a particular country or within a particular jurisdiction, you can say. So the way, the way it will be is like, for example, there is a US weekly payroll. So you will have all the people who are being paid under US weekly. Okay, you can have one payroll or multiple payrolls for pay groups for weekly within US. It will never be across the region, but it all gets determined by the legal entity also, because as I said right in the beginning, company is the legal entity. Okay, so so legal entity determines. I mean, this is something a very important point. I mean, when you go to the business, you'll have to ask them, right? What exactly are your legal entities? And under those legal entities, how many pay groups you need to create, that is something you need to determine. So this one legal entity is there, let's say C11, whatever, and you have, let's say, within that legal entity, there are 200 employees, out of which 50 are on a weekly payroll. Okay. So now the question is, it looks like straightforward. Okay, this 50 we can do a weekly processing for this company pay group and run this process. But if there is some differentiator between that also, you have to just check. Do you need to go for one particular weekly payroll under that legal entity or two? So that is a decision you have to take. But definitely you will not club together weekly employees from France with Canada or Canada with US. It will never happen like that. So yeah. And to answer your question with respect to, let's say, if I have to design it, okay, I can have all the US, let's say the US weekly employees together, okay, and then if it is only on the earning part, which is a differentiator, I can have certain criteria on the worker eligibility, right, for a particular earning. So I can design it that way. So there are multiple ways of designing it. You'll come to, once you do the setups, you'll come to, yourself you'll discover, right, what are different ways of setting the system. So there are multiple ways. So it is about up to the implementer, right, how he will approach the whole scenario. Right.
Yeah, I agree. So because when I read that statement, that's when I was confused, like region or companies. I was like, okay, any region, because you mentioned or there, so it even confused me more. So I was like, okay, maybe we can rephrase that statement. Yeah.
Right. So maybe you can. Okay, we'll rephrase. I mean, right now I'm running short of time. I need to cover the course. I hope you understood, right? I'll rephrase it.
Yeah. So, now I got it. But when I read it, I was like, in my mind, it was not clear. Thank you. Yeah.
The whole objective. See, the whole objective of this course is like, okay, we need to make it very simple. The payroll has to be a very simple module, so that people are able to understand. Now, if you even you will not have time, maybe you're like, definitely you're working somewhere, whatever. So you will not have time to go through every content, and you'll not have that time. So the crux, I'll put it in my Word document and show it here. And simultaneously, I'll go to the tenant and we can have a discussion further over there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks.
But thanks for the feedback. I think that gives a clarification to the other folks as well, right?
Yeah, for me, when I read it, I just assumed it like that, but I don't want to assume. I want to just get it clarified.
That's fine. So now let's cover a bit on this pay group and pay run group and pay election rule quickly. So I think we are just running short of time, but yeah, definitely. So can you see my tenant?
Not yet.
No. Okay. Okay, now?
Yes.
Okay, so let's create a pay group. Okay. So this is the third activity you have to do today. So first two, period schedule, run category. Okay, in the run category only add active employees. Third one is create a pay group. Okay. In case there are more pay groups you create, so you just give a number also, pay group 1, 2. So visibility, I'll just put everyone. So people who are like already done the HCM training and all, they must be aware of this visibility, how it works. So the security aspect, I'm not touching that. Country, definitely you can give the country. If you want to make it United States right now, you can make United States. You can make one pay group for US. You can make one pay group for Canada also, no problem. So, but do take a note of your configurations, what you're doing. So because later on you'll have to edit also, recreate also on the tenant once it is refreshed. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So this is a pay group assignment rule. Okay. So let me just put one date here. Okay, so this rule also you have to create new, but for the time being we are just picking it up in the interest of time. So for the time being we'll just pick up any rule. Let's say pay group rule US monthly. Okay. Okay, and just we'll go to the related actions to check what exactly is this. So if you see here, it has got a condition for executive management. Now the thing is, if we have to use a pay group uh, which has to be assigned automatically to all the employees, I cannot use this particular assignment rule. Okay, because this is only for the executive management. But for the timing, we'll take it up because we have to. So that's the logic. You with me, right? You understand, right? So we have to create our own pay group assignment rule. Okay, and pay group assignment rule will determine, right, like for what all employees, what pay group has to be assigned, and you have to give the conditions here. Okay. We can edit it later. So right now I'm just trying to create one pay group. So I'm selecting regular, but for you it will be like, for example, VK regular. Did I create one? No, I didn't create, but you should create. So select your pay group here. Then the period schedule. Okay. So period schedule, did I create one? Yes, see, the period schedule is there. You can select it. Likewise, the run category also has to be created. Okay, and select it. Then pay run group. Okay, pay run group we have not added right now. So let us do one thing. Right now we'll just do it because it's not a required field. If you see, run category is required. There is star asterisk. For period schedule, again it's asterisk. So pay run group, but there is no asterisk. So we'll just keep it like this. Then days from the payment date to display pay slip. So it's basically you are telling to the system after the payment date how many days it should wait before the pay slips can be displayed to the employees via self-service. So you can add this value here, number of days 2, 3, and let's say if we click on OK now. Okay. So if you see here down below, the period status has already automatically got updated. Okay, and you can see the calculation status is not yet started because we have not run the payroll at this point of time. Okay, members, we don't have any members right now. Okay, so now let's do one more thing. We will add. So these tabs, mainly the first 3 tabs right now are important. Staffing will be more to do with the positions, right? So there will be some tabs which are pertaining to the payroll, right, with respect to the payroll, because time is not that much that we can cover every tab. Like for example, this unable to fill and staffing. Somebody who is on the HCM side, the person must be knowing that it's more to do with the position management. So these things are roles, the security groups. This will be something which will not cover in detail, okay, because it's a part of HCM.
Yeah, Vaibhav, one quick question.
Yeah.
So you mean to say we can hire people into this pay group? The staffing, unavailable to fill. Generally, we see all these tabs in the supervisory organization, right?
Right. No, we cannot hire. We can assign the person to a pay group.
Okay, that I understood.
Okay,
But
let's
then
try.
why
Okay,
is there
fine. Let's try
staffing?
assigning a person to pay group. Yeah. So let's do that. Let us see. So let us see right now. I've just added one employee. Okay, I just moved that employee to my pay group. Okay, so we're trying to see here VK pay group 1. So this was the pay group, right? So let me see if the employee is here. Members. Okay, this I have to check. Okay, but you can ideally you can assign an employee. So let me do one thing. First of all, let's go through it. This part I'll just cover it for you because staffing is something. These values will be automatically coming. I mean, you cannot have a position here added to a pay group. So when you have a member, you can have the like related information which will be available here. You don't hire an employee in a pay group. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So now let's do one more thing. We'll just create parent group. So likewise here we can select many pay groups under one parent group, and the objective is to run these while we are processing our payroll. Okay, so we clubbed it into one. Okay, okay, and then okay, so this member should come. Let me just see 1 second. So what we have done is we created a pay group, added that pay group to the parent group. Okay, and let us try assigning a member. Let me see, assign pay group.
Do you think it's a BP or something? Is it waiting for an approval?
Yes, no, it is not waiting for the approval because it has gone to success, right?
Okay.
Is that an effective date thing? Because I saw effective date thing come up actually. So maybe we need to check the effective date of the pay group, and then when we are assigning, because
worker history, Asha. Something about worker history. The effective.
Yeah.
That message came, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
why
don't think it should matter.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just guessing. Until
No,
we go
actually,
into the pen.
yeah. Actually, assign pay. Yeah, let's do
Effective
one
date.
more.
Yeah. Can
Ideally,
we?
it should come.
Can we check?
1 second. Let me just try some.
Maybe yesterday effective date or something, right? We can try.
Okay, so let's try for December, maybe. I think we have to complete the periods as well there. We have not given the periods and we have not completed the setup there. That is also one thing. We just added 2 because we have to cover these all items in the session.
Yeah.
So let me just see. And one more thing would be there. The thing is,
actually, you're putting effective date as 12. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Because yeah, let me just see. 112 I have done. Up next, log and neglect. Okay, so this will go to the BP. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, it is coming as reassigned. So basically, we need to go and correct the BP as well.
Okay.
Because there is no assignment group there.
Exactly. So that is there.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can show you somewhere, because in 1 hour we have to do entire entry, then it becomes difficult. So let me just see if I can do some. In an alternate pay group, I'll try to assign some value. Okay, so let's see. Maybe. Okay, so it is taking the BP, right? So
Yeah.
okay, but we should assign a member to the pay group. So right now, since it is in a BP, then will have to go to the approvals and do this. So try to do this activity where we assign some members, existing members. You move those members to our pay group, which we have created. Okay, so at least 3-4 employees.
Okay.
You try to move those employees as of 1st of December 2019 to or 1st of whatever last payroll run was there. You if you can figure it out. So the dashboard, that's fine. But what our objective is, we have some new employees, and from the current payroll onwards, they will be processed in our payroll, right? Till last payroll, they were in a different pay group, but in the current uh, payroll run, they will be processed in our pay group. So try to assign pay group as of 1st of December. We'll see how we can work it out. Okay. So if it is BP, then we'll have to just copy the BP and we'll have to uh, just do a direct transaction also. But for John Chen, I think the transaction went successful straight away, right? It was not a BP that point.
Yeah, that's what confused me.
Yes.
Why did it go?
Right. So anyways, we'll check that. Okay. So but try to do this activity today. And then the next one will be, that will be last point, last topic for today. So that will be the, as I said, right, for this creation of the run category. Once you create this run category, you have to have the payment election. Otherwise, employees will not be able to select, right, whether they receive the pay, how they would like to receive the pay, through check or through direct deposit, and if they are having multiple accounts, how can the net pay distribution be done. So all those things are controlled by this. So once you create the run category, you will have to add it here. So if you see here, you have the pay rule, bonus. On the top, you have advance, regular pay, GB. So once you create a run category for with your name initials, it will appear. You will be able to search here. You'll be able to see something like maybe I have not created a run category right now currently. So maybe some old one. We can just see if something is there. Okay, so here this is there. Okay, so likewise you will see here whatever run category you have created, you have to just add it and just click OK. So these are the 6 tasks which you need to complete today. And I'll just repeat, it's creation of the period schedule, creation of the run category with the active worker status only. Okay. And then you have pay group assignment rule. You can add a pay group assignment rule, existing pay group assignment rule. We can check that. Then assigning employee or a member to a pay group. If you're not able to do it, we'll do it tomorrow. Not a problem. We'll just see. I'll just keep that test scenario also ready. And then creation of this maintain payment election page. As I mentioned that in maintain payment election page, we have to add the run category. And why we have to do that activity is because employees need to have the option in the self-service also to determine which pay has to go into which account of theirs. Okay, if it is regular, then account 1, like that. So the pay distribution they can do it, or pay election you can say, once you do this configuration. Yeah, I think that is it from my side for today. And
Vaibhav, one question here. When we see a default or / pay group specific rule, is it the same as the eligibility rule, pay group eligibility rule, or it's something different?
Where? Come again? Sorry.
There is like just next to the run category column, you have pay group specific rule column, right? So is that what is that rule? Default pay group specific rule. What is that rule? Is it same as the pay group automatic assignment rule, or is it something else, some other rule?
Okay, so yeah, this one, right? So see, so this one, if we see, we have for example, we have the pay group also here, right? If you see here, do we have? No.
No, it says some rule, right? So
yes.
What rule is that?
Right. So see, usually we associate the run category here only. Okay. And if you talk about the pay group specific rule, right? So I have not explored this option yet. Okay. So usually we'll select the election rule, payroll rule, and then you give the run category here, and you run the regular payments and you run the bonus payments. So, but yes, I'll provide you an answer by tomorrow on this one.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
So Vaibhav, so every class would be like this only, like we have so many things to do in the short amount of time. So I'm just trying to understand it, like kind of.
No, so there are,
very quick for us.
No,
yeah, it's
very quick, and maybe Go ahead, Vaibhav. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead, yeah. No, that's okay. I would like to have your opinion, because payroll, as I know, is like it will be having some hard work, and
we are ready to do hard work.
No, we are ready to do hard work. We are ready to give 200%. But only thing is like what happens is, if we have to go, I'm not asking you to talk slowly. That's all fine. But only thing is the topics. Say suppose we have 10 topics and we know we can't cover them in 1 hour. Maybe can we just cut short that topic and, like maybe 5 in one day and 5 in next day? We are okay if we can go that way also, if others are also okay. This is just my thought. But then, if we're just going very, 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 very fast, maybe we will miss some of them, some of the options or some of the topics, or maybe some discussion in each of the concept,
right.
maybe. So that's just my thought. Maybe if everyone agrees with this, I'm okay, but then it's just me. But then we are trying to grasp as fast as we can as you're coming.
No, I understand, right? I understand your concern.
Before because when we read each and every sentence, because for me it's completely new. I'm completely new to this. So for me, every sentence with comma, full stop, with semicolon, like that's how I read and try to understand and grasp, because I want to learn it well.
Yes.
So I might have 10 questions in each sentence. So I'm just telling you. So maybe
yeah, that's fine. I mean, I think. You want so how many like in this whole forum, right? How many are from ERP background? How many people are there? I mean, if I could know, I would actually pace it up accordingly that way. So or how like people? Yeah, if I could know, like
I have. I'm Asha here. I have 0 ERP, 0 Workday.
Okay. And
here 0 ERP. I just took training in HCM, like Workday HCM and integrations. So yeah, that's how it is.
Okay. What about the other participants? I see a lot of participants here. I mean,
this is Sharmila, Vaibhav. Same with me too. ERP and Workday. I just took training in HCM and integrations.
Same here. This summer.
Yeah.
So you, Amar, you don't have a background of ERP, you say?
No, I don't.
Okay, so which field you work? I mean, just to know.
So I'm actually completely from Java background.
Okay.
I took the HCM and the integration as well.
Okay. And what about Ashok?
I am from the core HR, regular HR background, but I've been trying on the HCM and integration.
Okay, so when you say core HR background, you are a ERP consultant?
No, not ERP consultant, but regular.
You're from the business. You're from the business side?
Yeah, business HR. Yeah,
Okay, you're a part of the business.
that's right.
Okay. What about Ashish?
Yeah, hi sir. I'm working as I'm working in HR department, and right now I am from last 4 years I am working on SAP as an end user and support consultant.
Okay, okay. And what is the objective of joining this course, if I could know exactly? Because you also did integrations, HCM integrations also, or this is the first Workday session you're having? Like you directly just joined Workday Payroll training itself?
Yes, sir, it is a first for me.
Okay, 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 okay. So I think there are many people who are from non-ERP background here, right? And you have experience on the HR business, right? If I see, and that too, like we have handful people, right? And what about Nirmal?
Yeah, hi.
Nirmala is also
Hi,
there.
Vaibhav. Yeah. Can you hear me, Vaibhav?
Yes, yes, Nirmala, I can hear you. Yeah, tell me, please.
Yeah, I have 8 years of experience in SAP HCM, and I've completed my core HCM in Workday and integrations.
Okay, 8 years of experience at HCM, SAP HCM.
SAP.
So that means, yeah. So is it like you're working as a functional consultant there, or how?
Yes. Yeah, functional consultant in both implementations and support. And
Okay,
I've completed
okay,
payroll.
fine. So
Yeah,
I
I've
think
done
we have.
payroll.
Okay, payroll also. You have been exposed sometime.
Yeah, I've done our implementation in payroll, like India and US payroll.
Okay, in SAP only.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, so I think for you it will be not a new
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
You will be
yeah.
able to move
Yeah, that's
because
right. That's why I'm like muted. I'm not even asking anything.
yeah, because so the thing here is like when we say 20 hours, right? Now you also, since you are also from a payroll background, so it's like if I have to divide everything and give everything within those 20 hours, we have to cover this much of course. That's the that was something I was just thinking.
So Vaibhav, can I suggest you one thing? Like, is it possible to send some notes before so that we can just go through the notes so that when you discuss in the class, we would be a little bit familiar with the topics, what you would be discussing. So do you think it might make us understand faster?
Fine, I'll check with the okay. Fine, I'll check with the yeah. I'll check that. I'll just talk to the organizer also on this and
Okay.
let you know. Fine. Yeah. So overall, I think like most of the people are from non-ERP background, and the objective is to learn payroll and be confident in the payroll. So definitely, I think we'll have to uh, pace it up correctly here. Fine. I'll talk to the organizer on this one. How we
Thank
can
you.
do it. And
Yeah, maybe
definitely
in the
from, yeah,
beginning
from
at
your
least.
side, please. Yeah, yeah. But one thing is there, we'll only have 4 sessions, right, in a week. So, and in case there are some additional sessions also later on, I can give it, not a problem. But for a week, we'll have only on, let's say, 4 sessions. I think organizer would have already told you, right? This. So that is something which will give you good time, 3 days time. One day, of course, tenant is refreshed, but 2 days time definitely you have to you'll have for practice and doing the exercises.
Kumar, can you stop the recording?
Yeah, sure.